Have you been trying to lose a few pounds and it's just overwhelming and you just can't seem to do it? Have you tried every diet program I think there is out there and nothing works for you? You've practically failed at every diet that you've ever tried or thought you failed, and nothing seems to work. Are you struggling losing those last 5 pounds or 10 pounds? Or maybe you have more. I am going to tell you and help you how to achieve a great weight loss program for you. And I'm going to tell you that diets fail you. You do not fail diets. Isn't that a good one to start with? Let's go, girls. Let's get into this. So thank you all for coming over today. I so appreciate you. For all my new subscribers, I appreciate you. To my posse, I love you. And to all of those that are watching me and haven't yet subscribed to me, hit that subscribe button. We have lots of fun here and we learn a lot of things, and I teach you a lot of things on how to be the best version of yourself that you can be. So now let's get going here. So first of all, I'm going to tell you something really simple as far as starting a diet program. You have to introduce yourself to you. I know, it's crazy, right? But you have to get to know, before you do anything, you have to step back a second and maybe look in front of the mirror, I don't know, and kind of introduce yourself to yourself. Like, what kind of a person are you? What do you like in life? What are you Are you a person who likes to go out to dinner a lot? Are you a person who, I just want to sit on the couch, that's all I want to do, and watch TV? Are you busy? Are you energetic? Do you love to cook? Are you the type of a person that could just sit down and drink those shakes, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Would that satisfy you? Could you do that? Are you that type of a person? I'm not. I have to have the texture of food in my mouth. But there are some that can do it. But when you're talking about losing weight, you're talking long term. I don't like even the word diet, so to speak, because it's a long-term eating change that you have to do, just like taking care of your face or taking care of your body or going for your physicals every year. You're doing that long-term for your health. A food maintenance program is something that you're doing for yourself long term. And in order to start anything, first of all, you should go to your doctor and get a physical. Make sure you don't have any thyroid conditions that's causing you to gain weight, or make sure that your sugar, you're not borderline diabetic or anything. Make sure that you don't have any heart issues that require you to eat less salt. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you have to take into consideration before you start any eating program. Listen, girls, there's a lot of gimmicks out there. There's a lot of diets out there with gimmicks out there. There's a lot of ways to reel you into their web of seduction and to get you to join, or to get you to make you think that their diet is best. But you know what? You have to know your own. You have to know your own body. You have to think about, before you even start anything, just have a normal eating day. And then after each meal, sit down for a minute and think, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like, oh gosh, I feel nauseous? Or do you feel stuffed? Do you feel bloated? Do you feel tired? And then think about what you ate. Don't wait and go, I better get up and go on the couch and lay down or sit down for a minute before this food digests. Think about what you ate. And I know that happened to me, which started me writing my book, Finding the Right Diet for You, because I remember I was sitting there eating breakfast. Now, it sounds like, holy cow, you're a pig, you ate all that for breakfast, but I had 2 eggs, a little bit of hash browns, a couple pieces of bacon, wheat toast. I always had wheat toast, because that's like a diet. When you have wheat toast, it's like going to McDonald's and saying, I'll have a 1/4 pounder and a large fry, and oh yeah, I'll have a Diet Coke, please. But I did, and that was kind of like a normal diet that me and Denny used to sit down to, not every day, but after I ate that, I used to always think to myself, Self, you really feeling nauseous, like, what? But I kept doing it because I didn't really, pay attention to myself. Of course, I was younger, but, our diets change a little bit when we're older, but I didn't think about what I just put in my mouth that made me so nauseous. And sometimes mixing certain foods. Some people, you can't mix foods, and it makes you heavier when you mix certain foods. Sometimes you got to take your foods in increments, like maybe eat your fruit first and, eat your little meal first. And then if you want a yogurt at the end or what, you have to kind of break them up and not sit there and just gobble them all. So what you put in your mouth and how you feel is very important to any kind of weight loss. You have to know your body, know how you feel, know what pleases you. And yeah, you could maybe still have your bacon and eggs if that's what you want. But you know what? Look at your plate. Whatever you have in that plate, even tonight, if you're going out to dinner or you're cooking for yourself, take a look at your plate and think to yourself, now that's my normal plate. But then take half of that out of your dish and put it someplace else and only eat half of what you normally put in your plate. That's all you got to do. And you would be surprised. You will feel better after you ate. You didn't deprive yourself because you ate the foods that you liked, but you only ate half of it. You don't have to eat everything in your plate. When I'm Italian. When I was growing up, my dad says, you mangia, you eat everything. You don't get up until you ate your plate's clean. I'm like, okay. Now I go, okay, Armin, that's fine. But it's not always a good upbringing to eat everything in your plate. You don't have to eat everything in your plate. I tell that to Denny all the time. You don't have to eat everything in your plate. You can leave some. So take a look at your plate, take a look at your portions, and take half of them off and see how you feel. And they always say exercise is a good form of watching your weight. And I'll tell you, as you get older, exercise becomes kind of a thing of the past. Yeah, we can take a brisk walk, but even with my leg, the way my leg's been hurting or my back sore, or, I'm 79 years old. So, to go to the gym and go, hoorah, I can dance. But, exercising is something that you can't count on every day as you're older to feel good enough to exercise to burn off calories. You just don't burn those kind of calories off, which is why when you're older, you gain more weight. They say, oh, you just naturally gain weight when you're old. It's just part of growing old. Well, I of course don't buy that because I'm not growing old. I'm maturing. But yeah, I count like washing my sinks or, cleaning my floors. I don't get down on my hands and knees anymore. No, I have a wet jet. Are you kidding? But that's exercise when I go like this. But we can't do the things that we used to do as far as exercising going. I used to go to the gym all the time. I can't do that anymore. So you have to take that all into consideration when you're trying to lose a few pounds, because you are not, you can't say, well, I'm going to have that piece of cake. Well, I'll just work it off, at the gym later. I'll work it off later. I'll, walk around the house. That ain't going to help your piece of cake. And so, you have to take that into consideration when you're older. It isn't so much that you're older and you just automatically gain weight. It's because you're not as active as you were. Yeah, you can go for a walk, but you live in Michigan like I do. It's very difficult to get out in the winter. I'm not crazy. I'm not going to give myself pneumonia and go for a walk just because I ate a piece of cake. No, I'm not. So you have to watch. And again, it's portions. You want a piece of that cake. I tell you, my daughter amazes me. She can have a piece of cake like this, you make an 9 by 13 pan, and she just cuts off a little tiny corner like this and eats it, and she's perfectly satisfied. And that's the way she eats, and that's what pleases her. Could she sit down and eat probably the whole piece? Oh, of course she could. She's my daughter. We're sweet eaters. But just a taste, sometimes just a taste of happiness can make you happy the whole day. You don't have to have the whole thing to be happy. Sometimes just a bite will do it. And that's the way you have to do when you're older, because we're not as active as we used to. So those calories, that you are taking in, you're not running them off like you used to. So it's portion control. It's less calories. It's less food on your plate. And yes, the old saying about getting a smaller plate so you don't mentally think you're deprived is 100% fact. That's what you have to do. And diets that are out there, I would not put down any diet that's out there, because I'm telling you, for every diet that's out there, there's 15,000 reviews that, oh, this changed my life and worked for me. Oh, I'm like a new person. Well, most of them are young. But besides that, and they probably did work for them, because every diet that's out there or eating program that's out there has reviews that they're wonderful, because a lot of them are. They don't tell you, like, I tried this and it sucked, I didn't lose a pound. Well, no, because it's probably, not for you. If you're a carb eater or like a pasta eater like me, I'm Italian, you're going to want to taste those foods. You can't deprive yourself. I mean, especially us as we're older, I think we get to this feeling like, oh, poor me, I raised my kids, I paid my bills, I did all this stuff, I deserve this pot of spaghetti. No, you don't really deserve the pot of spaghetti, because you're not going to work it off. It's just going to sit on your butt or your stomach. You're just not going to work it off. So you have to take that into consideration. You can eat, and you can eat in moderation and still enjoy food. I have to enjoy food. I did the Atkins diet once. I'm not knocking the Atkins diet, but I thought I was going to go crazy when I went to Olive Garden with my husband, and he was sitting there eating breadsticks, and I didn't have one. I wanted to take that breadstick and shove it right between his eyes. So he ended up saying, "Eat the darn breadstick, Babs." And I was like, so I did. I was like, I put that thing in my mouth like a sword swallower. And so I was happy. But so I couldn't deprive and I'm not saying, I mean, Atkins loses a lot of weight. South Beach, all of these diets that require low carb, keto, they're all great if you can follow them long term, and if they fit into your lifestyle, they work. But if they don't, and you're older and you've tried them and you think you're a failure, you're not a failure. They have failed you. You have not failed those diets. Trust me. I've been on pretty much all of them. Now here's something that's in my book, and this is very important. You see this plate right here? I have these dividing plates, and in these plates you'll see this is where your salad should be, this is where your veggies should be, this is where your meat should be, or your vegetables and a little salad and meat. It's portion control. It's all portion control. And it's all about calories and fat. And yes, you can go to the store and you can stay there for 5 hours at the grocery store. I hate going to the grocery store anyway, especially now with the prices. And you can look at all the fats and all that stuff. It makes you crazy. Whatever you have, you don't want to fill one of those portions up with a piece of cake, because that's not healthy. But it's all about balancing out your foods. Vegetables and things are really kind of free. I'm not promoting any particular diet here. I am on right now with my husband. I have to watch my husband's weight. My husband is got health issues, breathing issues, as you know. He's put on some weight. We were trying to determine that it's not CHF he's in, or if he's actually just eating too much. Well, I found out, he's eating cookies when he shouldn't be, and he's a borderline diabetic. So I had to put the ball and chain on. So I decided to get the Weight Watcher app. I have had the Weight Watcher app before. I was on Weight Watchers a long time ago. I am a lifetime member. I particularly didn't like to go to the meetings and, oh, you lost a quarter pound, Babsy. Yay, let's give her a hand. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do it in the privacy of my own home. And the Weight Watchers app is like amazing. I mean, I'm on it now. My daughter, my husband, Dolores, the baking diva. Hi, Dolores. And of course, Marlene, Fab and Glam is on it. She lost 100 and some pounds on Weight Watchers. And again, I'm not getting anything from Weight Watchers. I'm not pushing it. I'm not sponsored by them. What I like about Weight Watchers now is that it counts the points for you. Years ago, I hated it. I think I have it in my book, because my book was written, I think, before the apps come out. And I didn't like, my daughter used to count all the points and write them down. I couldn't do that. But now they deduct the points for you. You can take the app right into the grocery store, and, I did muffins the other day. I went with my husband and I said, oh, those Raisin Bran muffins. I mean, Raisin Bran, right? Bran. That's got to be good for us. We can have one of those in the morning with orange juice. I looked it up on my Weight Watcher app, 20 points and I'm only allowed 19 points a day, but on one On one Raisin Bran, it was 20 points. I realize sometimes how much you actually eat until you actually sit down and figure it out. And again, you can have what you want, but you have to know what is good for you and what is bad for you as far as your health goes and as far as what you're going to eat that you're not going to burn off. And you got to put forth an effort. And effort is a big thing to do for no matter what you do. I mean, it's an effort sometimes to clean your house. It's an effort sometimes to wash your sinks and toilets. It's an effort to, lots of things require effort, but you have to do them in order to feel good about yourself. You know how good you feel when your house is cleaned, or how good you feel when you put forth your effort, like your skincare program or whatever. You feel so good about it. You have to put forth effort with anything that you want success in life. It's just the way it is. And for yourself, you have to advocate for yourself. You have to take charge of yourself. If you're not happy with yourself and you want to lose a few pounds, you can do it, but you have to put forth the effort and the consistency in order to do it. And again, you've got to take charge of yourself. You've got to see what kind of a person you are on the inside, know what foods that you desire, what foods that you like, and eat accordingly. I mean, you have to not deprive yourself of food, because if you do, you'll never lose a pound and you'll feel bad, and then you'll sit on the couch like a couch potato and do poor me when you actually could have taken charge of yourself, really. So it's all about putting forth the effort to lose the weight that you want to lose. So I think if you're going to start any kind of an eating program, like I say, check yourself, look at yourself, find out what kind of a person you are, if you're active or not. Like I said before, if you're older, you don't get the activity that we used to get. So take that into consideration for every little thing that you put in your mouth. And if you're going to sit on the couch and you're going to watch TV, which I told you before is a no-no, but if you choose to do that, don't sit there with a piece of cake and a big glass of milk or something. I mean, you got to take that into consideration if you do, because you have to change your eating habits a little bit, especially when you're older. You have to. So everything you put in your mouth has a calorie. Everything you put in your mouth has value. You can either choose to put bad value in your mouth or good value in your mouth. If you want to stay healthy, you want to stay happy, you've got to change your lifestyle of eating a little bit. Just cut your portions down in half. See where that takes you first. If you don't want to change anything that you're eating, or maybe you're a great cook. I love to cook, so I have to balance my cooking out, but I cut things in half. I don't give my husband big plates like this, and I certainly don't either. I use my little portion control plate, put my salad at the top, my meat and my vegetables, and that is perfect for me. And I have to watch my sweets because, like I say, I don't burn them off, so they stay on my butt. So then there's that. Weigh yourself, keep a record maybe, get on the scale, but sometimes by your clothes and how you feel if you've lost weight. Sometimes the scale doesn't reflect maybe what we lose, because it takes so long, and then you get discouraged and then you fall off the wagon because what the scale says. So I always think about, how I feel. How do my pants feel? Are they too tight in places that they shouldn't be? If they're good, I'm okay. So I think for myself, I used to be 5'5.5". I'm 5'3.5" now. I'm pushing 160. I want like 155 maybe. I don't want to lose too much weight, because right away, girls, the weight goes to your face. It doesn't go to your butt where it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go to your butt, but it doesn't. And we have to watch when we get older too, that our face doesn't sag and from losing too much weight. So we have to maintain a few pounds, which we have over the youngers, because we can hold on to a few pounds better, just so we don't look gaunt. But just watch what you eat, do the portion controls, do the calories, and enjoy your life. I'm not saying take anything away, enjoy your life, but just you are in control what goes in your mouth. There's certain things in life we have no control over. Things change for us every day that we have to accept and we can't change. But what goes in our mouth, we can change. We can change how much goes in our mouth. We can change why those things go in our mouth. We can change bad habits, and we can have a better attitude towards eating. So with that, girls, happy weight loss. So I'm going to do this with you. If you want to do it with me, I'll check in. I like I say, I only want, my husband has to lose about 10, and I'm really working hard to get him down. And I'll be happy with maybe 8. So, and if it's 5 actual fat pounds, and not water pounds, I'll be happy with that. So, here's to smaller portions. And like I say, I'll have all the information about my book in my description box, and it's going to be first come, first serve. And there's some stipulations in there, and you'll find it in the description box. So thank you, girls. I so appreciate you. I love you. Happy, healthy eating. I'll see you really soon. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to me. Remember, girls, be the I in kind. We can all use kindness today. Love you. Bye-bye.